So I got this guy here, and I wonder if you can tell me what he's doing wrong about his camera presence.
All right. I am so hooked on this jacket thing.
Maybe you can trade your hat for it.
Okay, let's go. I'm an Arsenal fan, for those that haven't noticed yet. My career has always been push it as far as you can until you burn out. But then effectively my philosophy's changed since then.
You become more American.
Yes.
How?
So, this is an old ass video. Why do I look so sad?
I can see why people think that social media might be a negative impact. There's a lot of examples that that support that.
When did you find this?
Things from a positive
I got my sources.
By the way, this is before I used to do talks. This is like ages ago when I first started, so people can actually see how shit I was.
What will you tell him in order to become better on camera?
I was just thinking a little bit too much. I recognize with every question there's a lot of potential answers for it. Back then, I was really scared to say I don't know something, even though I didn't have the answer in this interview. But during that period of time, I was so nervous about somebody asking me a question that I didn't know about or stumbling my words. I was thinking a little bit too much. It was very robotic. It wasn't very natural. Whereas now, I just don't give a shit. I'll go up, I'll say something. If I mess up, it's fine, right? And I think that when you put so much pressure on yourself to be perfect, to say the right thing, to have the right timing, all that kind of stuff, that's when you don't actually come across in a way that people can actually feel. It feels very robotic. I feel like I was a robot, basically is the difference. I am so hooked on this jacket thing. Apparently these are as hard to get as limited edition sneakers. Like the founder does not give them out at all.
Maybe you can trade your hat for it.
Okay, let's go. I'll do anything for the jacket, but not that. That's a bit rash. And then eventually, hopefully I can get one of these jackets.
That bit I can't promise. The vibes I can promise. I can promise vibes.
Literally everything I've said.
No, and like, believe it or not, I hear this every day. So we got a message on Slack. Not even joking, right? Where's this one? Yep. Hi team, can we get a Notion jacket? This person, blah, blah, blah. You can't. So every day I get at least 2 or 3 requests for a jacket. Gotta talk to Ivan. You gotta get a job at Notion.
So this event is with Notion. So this is called Build with Notion. So Notion is doing their event in London where they're bringing together some of their creators, bringing together some of their partners and people that utilize the tool and just bringing them together to cross-collaborate and create, share knowledge, connect, etc., etc. I always talk about the fact that community is everything, especially with people in the B2B space. They think that they can't be sexy. Like Notion is a tool for productivity, but they're so damn cool, man. Like how the teams look, how they structure themselves, how their vibe is. I think that anybody that thinks that their company is not cool or doesn't have the right to be cool is just kidding themselves, right? Notion is teaching you that you can be dope. It just depends on how you limit yourself, really. But this is dope. I'm left inspired. Some stuff we're going to do for Butterfly Effect going forward. Watch this space.
You said you just landed back from LA.
Yes.
If you become more American.
Yes.
How?
So, I've been spending a lot of time in the US, right? And when I was younger, I was a people pleaser. And I'm still a recovering people pleaser. But the more I spend time in the US, the less I become a people pleaser. The reason being is because I realized that directness, obviously done the right way, and also being very discerning about how you spend your time and also challenging people to make sure that they perform to your level of excellence is actually an act of kindness. If you don't do that and you're secretly feeling some type of way about it, you're actually eating yourself up inside. And I realized that a lot of Americans are just very direct. So I've been able to recover from my people pleasingness by being around Americans that are just simply more direct. I just realized that in a place of business, in a place of us trying to be number one in what it is that we do, we just have to be very honest about it.
You had a question, Ruth?
Yeah, I had a question. I'm speaking for the people here. There are probably listeners that are people pleasers.
Yes.
And you're speaking from a place of coming out of it.
Yeah.
But you're not taking people on the journey on how they can kind of leave that behind and move forward.
Yeah.
So how do they actually stop doing it? Because maybe someone can't go to America and be around a bunch of Americans and learn how to be direct and they're stuck in the UK or stuck, quote unquote. So then what are they supposed to do?
So why are you people pleasing in the first place? A lot of the time it's based on like an insecurity or a form of obligation. And a lot of the times, especially as somebody that grew up in a Congolese African household, you're almost like expected to do stuff beholden of the community, right? We do things this way, we show up this way. Sure, I understand that to some extent, but not to the point where it becomes detrimental to your own well-being and also to your own choices. Like, you have to be able to make sure that you're doing things because you want to do it, not because you're obligated to do it. Because then it doesn't come from a place of kindness, then does it? So we are here at ULife. We're about to get on a panel talking about burnout, balance, mental health. Very important subject. My career has always been push it as far as you can until you burn out. But then effectively my philosophy's changed since then.
Sort of trying to cling on to control when you feel like you're slipping, control is slipping. You're nodding a lot, Alf. Is that something you resonate with?
Oh yeah, I'm a burnout merchant. But what I mean by that is the fact that I think as leaders, we have to be able to create an environment where people feel like they can be forthcoming with how they're feeling. And myself and my co-founder Michael, I made an environment where we're very forthcoming with when we're feeling a little bit burnt out. I kind of like try to reframe it from it being about like a moment of weakness or a feeling of weakness to more like a Formula One car, right? You need to take a pit stop to win the race. So we try to advise people to use it strategically and tactically, especially during periods when we have downturn. We know that throughout a 12-month period, we only have to be at high gear for 6 months of the year. Between March and May is when everybody's trying to figure out their almost like start of the financial year plans. And then between September to November is when everybody's getting their end of year plans together before the Christmas time happens. If you're full throttle then, but you're taking your holidays in the right periods, you're able to make sure that you ride the wave. Love the ULife team. I love the vibe. I love the energy. I always talk about the concept of sexy brands and unsexy industries. If you look at the concept of what they sell, being insurance and looking after people and well-being, as soon as people hear that, they think that you have to be boring, you have to be very serious. Of course, it's a very serious business, but the way they have their features, the way they productize everything, to get superhuman, that's super important, right? So the gamification, the applications is all phenomenal. And it's really our vibe. If we're ever going to do something in the insurance space, it has to be like ULife. And that's what I love about it. It's the way they do it. I'm an Arsenal fan, for those that haven't noticed yet. And right now, we are the best team in the country, potentially in Europe, potentially in the world. Go Arsenal. And it's taken 5 years to build. And I think a lot of the times people were basically making fun of us for not having any trophies over 5 years. But what our coach was able to do is build one of the most formidable defenses and teams on the planet right now. That's because one, the players were there together, they went to war together, they've lost together, they have history together, they have synergy together, and we've been able to add the final pieces that we needed. Now, before you even get to that point, what is the genius of what Mikel Arteta was able to do? It's because of his hiring process. And he basically asked 3 questions about any potential talent that they want to recruit. And I'm now calling it the 3 A's. The first one is ability. Has the person actually got the skills to do this? Can they actually do what it is that I need them to do? Have they got the background? Have they got the experience? Have they showcased like potential in making that happen? Then it's all about agency. How much hand-holding do they need to be able to do the task at hand? And the problem with that is that sometimes people need some help, but you know that within time they'll be able to adopt it and make it happen. That's always okay, right? But then the last one is attitude. That you cannot change. So they have to want to do it, and you have the attitude to do it. We can always make things work if the other 2 levels are not where they need to be. But if you're great ability, great agency, but your attitude stinks, there's no point us working together. It just doesn't work, because then your attitude will have an impact on other people that may not have the ability and the skill, or the agency, sorry. It's because it's like attitude is the one that transfers, right? And what you're saying out loud vibrates across the whole entire team and impacts people's energy. And what Arsenal have been able to do is make sure they got people with ability, agency, but then also the right attitude, which is why there were some star players that used to play for the team, including 2 of our captains that got booted out of the team, and that nobody realized why. They're like, well, why would you get rid of our top captain? I believe our captain Aubameyang, who was also our star striker, couldn't play against our fierce rivals Tottenham because he was late to training. People's attitude tells you everything that you need to know.
So, and you're now applying the Arsenal philosophy into how you're hiring?
Yeah, how I'm hiring, who I'm working with, who I spend my energy with.
Thank you so much for watching this episode. You know that you're a legend for making it here all the way to the end. Drop us a comment, let us know what you think, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Public speaking. In many of us, just the thought of it sends shivers down our spine. But there are some crazy people out there who's grown to master it. And given that you clicked on this video, you probably want to become better at it yourself.